friends, another one of these today. I'm just gonna go and grab some couple of colors and scrape them on. Draw this layer up and go for the next layer is really what I'm doing. We're gonna do another look from the layers that you put on and you kind of what you take off. I don't know what to call it. Just mixed media. Well, it's gonna be all pretty much paint. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do the modeling paste today because it didn't work so good the last time, and I don't have any really proper wall compound modeling paste. I might just try some gesso because gesso's pretty thick. Maybe I can look at doing that. I'm not sure. We could try that, do layers of gesso in between instead of the modeling paste on a smaller scale. On the big scale, wall compound would be really cool to do this. Next layer, I'm going to go with some gesso from DecoArts, and it's thicker, so to be honest, I am not sure why it's so thick. They'll find that the black one, oops, is quite thick as well. So I don't know. But I'm going to use it and put some gesso down. I'm going to dry that off now. And before I do that, I'm going to probably put some, because it's quite textury, this gesso, I'm going to throw in some markings. Because look at that. We'll see how this gesso works. For some interest, I am going to throw in a little bit of black gesso. We'll see how much pops through, if any, when we're getting down to through our layers, when we're pulling our layers off. Just a little bit, because I don't want to have too much black gesso on there. But why not? Give it a try. Gonna throw on some green and see if I can pull out any teal. I might have to pull more color through here. Throw it on my palette knife. I like that. Got some red in that, so I'm just going to throw a little drop of red in my palette knife. A little drop, maybe a little more than a little drop. There we go. I'm going to dry that off. I got a little bit more, but don't want to make mud, and it's getting a little purpley, but that's okay because just a little is fine. Really enjoying how this gesso, white gesso, is working for me, so I'm going to throw in some gesso where, I don't know. I'm really liking how thick it is, so I might just throw some in. Just make sure you get your hair out of there. Hair in there is not good. So I'm just going to throw some of that in. It's not really straight, but it works. Just like that. I like it. I'm going to wipe this gesso off right away too because it's quite thick. Like, it's working better than the modeling paste from DecoArt for this particular project so far, how I like the feel of it anyway. So I'm going to clean off my stencil and dry. Yeah, before my gesso is dry. Yeah. And we'll see what comes out of that. This was quite the shimmery gold, so quite interesting. We'll see if what pops out, if any of that. This time, I'm just gonna go right on it. Ooh, a little bit of yellow. I mixed that up. That didn't go in right. A little bit of yellow. That's quite a bit of yellow. That's okay. And some orange. I'll mix it up. Remember, we're going for layers, so now I'm putting too much, but on my palette it's just all drying up out there, so I got quite a bit of paint, so I could probably put other layers on other pieces here. And I'm going to let this dry a little bit, and then I'm going to dry some of it as well. I really want to cover up. It's really stuck here. It's been sitting here for the whole time. So now I'm going to let that dry for a bit. Move that on, and I added some orange, yellow, then orange, and then red, and I kind of scraped some of it off, so it's got a cool little look here. And now I'm going to dry it. So I hope you did you hear me singing? I was singing. Throwing myself into my work. So I'm just going to ink. Gotta be not slidey. When I scraped, some of that gold did come through when I was scraping some of the orange and that off, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, another version of this, right guys? So I'm just doing layers and layers. Did gesso instead of modeling paste. I'm thinking maybe even the flat acrylic paint might be better than the shiny, because I'm thinking this is going to be a little bit more want to peel as well. So I'm going to let it kind of dry. I want to do a teal heart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a teal in the middle. And work from there. And I know I should have been doing it on the whatever. I'm doing a teal heart here, and I didn't do my outline, but that's okay. Just take a little slower here. Drying time in between would be really nice, like I said before. Make it beautiful. And if you're doing this at home, you have all the time in the world. If you're doing it for a video, you want to get it done. Especially a project that seems like it's on a smaller scale. It feels like it should be able to get done faster. Not necessarily. So I'm getting my heart done, and it's pretty big and wonky, but that's okay. So I'm gonna have to probably let that dry, because I'm just gonna keep moving paint and pulling paint off. I think I'm gonna give him a squirt of green on the side here on my palette. There's my beautiful arm. And do my play with it, the green, highlighting it. I like to do so much. I wonder if I have any black still here. I do. I got some black. It's still wet enough to play. So I'm making a dark heart. It's a bluey green with some black to make a more gray area. And it's getting to the point where I have to let it dry, because it's getting really, where it's moving paint off of places where I put paint. See, you can start seeing other paints underneath. Other paint colors, that means it's too wet. But there is some uniqueness to it when you do some wet on wet that you can do and play with. So pushing it, stretching it is kind of fun to do. Stretching how far you can go. So probably going to dry this real soon here. Getting a little out of hand. I'm getting out of hand, guys. See, there I go. I'm keep going, keep going. But I do gotta dry it. Okay. I keep pulling my paintbrush apart. I'm gonna dry. I'm happy with it. Now I'm just taping off a rubber stamp here. I don't want the swirlies in the bottom. So I'm using masking tape to tape that off. I'm just gonna throw some, I'm gonna throw this on for the heck of it, see how much comes off. A lot of it should rub off when I do my layer extraction, which, hey, that's a good name for it. And it's not going to be a perfect image. Put that back. That's okay, it's not going to be a perfect image. I'm going to dry that up too because I don't want the ink to go everywhere. I think I'm gonna do one more little, so you can add whatever you want. So I'm just adding some number stamps here, 63. And see how much rubs off, comes off. I'm going to be really happy with it. No matter what, it's always a fun experience to do whatever, you know, with your work. So I enjoy it. So I'm expecting that most of this stuff will come off, but there'll be little pieces of it. So now I'm going to dry that up, make sure it's really heat setted in there so it doesn't smear. I shouldn't, but you never know. Again, I've got my sandpaper. This is my P600. Don't know if that means anything. It says P600 on it though. It's a very light grit sandpaper, so it's very, very light. I'm going to go very carefully and light. If you're doing this at home and you're not doing a video for it and you have patience, guys, let it dry hours in between. So then the paint really settles and not tacky or anything. I'm liking the gesso from DecoArts here that I have used rather than the modeling paste from DecoArts. It's so far not peeling on me, and it doesn't have a rubbery texture, so it's more like, well, paint, right? Gesso. So I like that so far. I did do some through the stencil, and I'm liking how it's coming up. And I'm just taking my time. I'm not going to go really terribly rough. I'm taking my time. There's no hurry. And I'm going in different directions, not all in one direction. Let's see what we could do with this guy. I got a little bit more grit here because it's less used. I used this on my Chinese sticks, so it's the color of the chalk paint I used. This would really work well with different paints too. Chalk paint would work really good. This is a real shiny paint for this, and that's what I'm saying before. The American multi-surface satin is quite sheen, so it might not be a look that you want. So you've got to be a little bit more careful because it is more plasticky. I don't know what to say. It's more I guess the way they made it, it does bound together a little different than regular paint. I'm really liking this on the sides. So I'm going to go work on the sides a bit more here. Adding more color up. I'm hoping to get some of the green a little bit up through here that I put in the background. I don't think I put as many layers as I did the last time, but we'll see. Look at that coming up right there. Beautiful. Just take our time. Going different directions. Moving it around. Wearing my heart down a bit, which is weird. And yes, that modeling paste really did give me heck before. It was really peeling off in chunks, and this is much nicer of a peel that looks more natural to me. Look at that coming through. The gesso worked really well for this project. And of course, I didn't put such a thick layer of the heart, which was a better choice. And it's really showing through that it's that in my opinion, are really made better choices, which you learn on what to do when you practice and what your products can do. So if you don't have DecoArts, you could use whatever products you have, and you'll learn by practicing a few what your products can do and how much you can stretch them to do what you want to do, manipulate them to what you want to do. I'm going really crazy here now. Want some of that green to come through. There we go. It's looking beautiful. I love it. You guys must think I'm crazy, but play with it and see what you think after you try it. And if you still think it's crazy, then you never have to do it again. It is fun. And if you got a lot of stuff to dump off, this sanding sure helps get rid of all that, you know, stuff you need to get rid of when you're already in your stress or whatever. And I'm loving it. The gold coming through a bit. And then just keep going. I'm just kind of going on the sides now. I don't really need to go too much in my heart anymore. I like what came off, but I don't need it all, the gesso coming through. I don't think on here. I think I got enough. But I still got the shape of the diamond. So it's pretty cool to see it. And then you could see it coming off here, but you can still see it in here. It's really cool. Come closer. Can you see the diamonds in there? And then you can see that looks really cool. So I'm really enjoyed this project. This one a little bit more so, less stressful because the way less peeling chunks up, so that's nice. I'm on my gold stage. I want to get a little bit of blue-green stuff. I'm not sure if I'm going to get that. There we go. Get some of that dark coming up. Perfect. There we go, guys. I'm really happy with how it's looking. Okay, a little bit of that coming off there. And I think that that's about enough sanding. I think I'm happy with it. Once again, I'm very happy with this outcome. The first one was great too. A little bit, I was expecting the modeling paste to not work. Used gesso. This one worked better in my opinion. And I really like that I used the stencil underneath as well. So what I'm going to do is, yeah, if you guys want to check out my last week's heart, you could check it out in my, going down my like videos. I could probably put the link down below. I'm going to put the love on here again. I'm going to go with that. And I am going to throw some drops of black, I believe, on here with my misters. And I'm not going to bother with the white because I have just the amount of white that I really wanted to come through on there. So I used this misters here from DecoArts. And I'm going to wipe that up, dry it up. And this is this week's layers. And just working through them and pulling them back up and just tearing them up and just love the look that it just comes out of it. So gonna dry it up. I'm going to take my Instant Play Colors poster board paint, which is in Stalk, and I'm going to roughly make a border with it, and that's about it. Might make some on the heart, you never know. It's always good. It's all good. And that is it. I'm not going to ink or draw or sketch on this one. I'm just going to leave it the way it is now. I'm just going to dry up all this gold on there that I just put on. And I hope you guys like this project this week. And we will try another one maybe for next week or the week after or whatever. So I'm really enjoying these hearts. And I think I'm going to make a whole bunch of them and have a series. And I want to put them up on the wall. I want to frame them. And what a great way to use up your scraps. So, and playing with your layers, you're just coming up with all these things that just turn out beautiful. And trust me, you guys, you think your work is not, but it is. It's really gorgeous. How do I know? If you got a creative mind and you can pull, do these things, and artists are always so much harder on ourselves than we ought to be. Honestly, we always think that we're not doing good enough. Trust me, I know. I go through that. I'm like, oh, if this video is not good enough or they're not going to like this. But you guys, you surprise me and always astonish me with your great comments and all that kind of stuff. And so from firsthand, I know that our art is way better than what we think it is. So I hope you guys take a little bit of that with you. Don't forget to craft like a duck, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.